Okay, so let's see if we can do a couple more of these with a couple more brushes. Okay, we're back, and I've created a new canvas here, and I'm going to do a couple more watercolor brushes with a few more types of paper, just so we can see. So what I did before is I created some selections, so I'm going to do that again. And how did I create the selections? Well, it's very similar to what you do in Rebel, in my Rebel Painter video. So but in Painter you go to this shape here that's highlighted in orange, it's active, and then I'm going to just click and draw a kind of rectangle. Now if I want to add another selection or add a selection to this particular layer, I have to make sure I've got the add to selection. I can also press the shift key, okay, or click up here. I'm going to draw another one. I'll just leave it like that. I actually wanted to line it up, but never mind. And you can also put these on different layers, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I've drawn 4, and I'm going to just press enter. Now if I press B, that will give me back my brush, and we did a couple of the brushes. I'm still going to stay in the pigments for now. We can do the other ones in a different video, and I'm going to just pick this one called wash. So we're jumping around in this one because these brushes do a little bit different. So wash at its default is quite small, so I'm going to reset it. And I'm going to, let's go to some of our color libraries. Some nice color libraries here. And let's go to this nice blue. I'm going to start at the top here. This gives a really nice wash. Now, I haven't changed, one thing you'll notice here is I haven't changed the paper particularly. So I haven't got a really textured gesso paper. I'm just using this one, which is fairly, it's actually called the paper preview. I'm using this one called, what is this one actually? I don't even know which one this is called. It's just a preview. It's called Basic Paper. Oh, there you go. I was a bit worried. I thought, what is this one? I don't know. This is Basic Paper. Okay. And that is actually quite nice. You don't want too much texture in it. That is a really nice one to start with. Now, you can change the paper as you go along. You can, let's just try it with some of these other brushes here let's try it with Runny and see what we get. So on our basic paper, you don't get as much texture. Let's reset this. You don't get as much texture as we did before. However, you do get some nice brush strokes here. And this is a fairly basic paper. If let's say you want to change it to a watercolor paper, you can do that. You just look for a watercolor option there and you can change it, or even a canvas. So I'm going to be really kind of quick here just in the interest of time. This is heavy pastel, watercolor pastel. So I've changed it to watercolor pastel, and I'm just drawing some strokes here, vertical strokes, and this is really not bad. And this is the brush called Runny. What I did is that I did a wash first. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to do a wash on a different paper. So we'll just do a wash first. It's okay at 50%. So this is it's more or less in its default. If I press hard, I get more of a stroke or a mark. And if I use light pressure, this is what I get. Okay, and then I'm going to choose another brush called Grainy Wash again. I'm going to pick this, what should we pick? We've got brown here. I don't know, let's pick this darker. It's quite close to it actually. Let me pick this one. So again, you can see because the paint is running, it's kind of slowing it down a little bit. But this is grainy wash, so this is going to pick up paper grain in a very different way. Okay, much more than the previous brush. And you can see I've got a tiny little bit of lag there. Alright, so let's go to another brush. And let's go to a flat wash this time. I'm going to, let's say, pick this light colour because it's always nice to give a light coloured wash. I haven't really changed the attributes for these brushes because I kind of like them as they are, but if you want, you can always change the diffuse amount, and you can always bring the fly out and delay the diffusion. This one has different wind force. If I turn it up, it's going to, you can see it's going to flow like this. And the colours tend to be a little bit dark on this because this is set to gel. Okay, so we'll do one more. I'm going to do let's put a flat wash first and a light colour. And I'm going to pick another brush and maybe a more textured paper. The watercolor one is actually quite nice. I like that, but you can always go further up. I'm going to do Watercolor Blooms. Sounds like a nice one. And I'm going to go for this brush called Hatched, because we haven't used that one before. And hopefully it's not a huge brush. Seems alright. I remember this one. It's very hatchy. So this gives like little sort of fingers. So you can make this, it's actually a large size. If you made it much smaller, you get more of the hatching that you're used to. I like this one. This is like putting dabs in. And you can see how the paper grain is making a very nice, it's really impacting the brush stroke. Let's make this a wee bit bigger so you can see. Okay, you can actually see some lovely detail here. And all I'm doing here is that I'm dabbing. So I'm going to leave that there. What you can also do, even though you're painting on a watercolor layer, you can paint on multiple layers and add more paint. You can also add a background texture, which perhaps I will do in another video. I just wanted to keep this fairly simple so that I could show you, what you could do. And all of these brushes are very, very different. Okay, so as you can change, the attributes. This one is almost using no grain here. Okay, but this is just the same brush, Hatched, which at a large size gives this other big stroke, and I'm using this paper called Watercolor Bloom. Okay, so lots of opportunities, lots of possibilities, but you won't know unless you actually explore the tool. I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching. Perhaps I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.